of legends, a powerful promise. But when measured by the exploits of Will Cagle, Billy Rafter, and Merv Trankler, this pledge rings true. And yet, memories of these modern Knights of the Round Table begin to fade in the dust of Canandaigua's newest master, Bob McCreadie. It's usually just a matter of time until the number 9 circuits the field, on to yet another victory. The invitations are out. Come and waste away again in Bob McCreadieville. It's the Auto Trader 75, and it's live on Sports Channel.
Dirt tracking, born in the cornfields and lower 40s of rural America. Dirt tracking, the cornerstone of racing. The early barnstormers put it all on the line to satisfy their thirst for speed. Now, their great-grandchildren carry the torch with the same spirit and thirst. 700 horsepower rips the earth. For 1 hour, nothing else matters. It'll raise the hair on the back of your neck. Rush Hour on Dirt.
We are live at the Land of Legends, Canadaigua Speedway in Canandaigua, New York, for the Auto Traders 75. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Doug Logan. Welcome to Rush Hour. Tonight, the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series for Big Block Modifieds ignites for the 15th time this season, with the points battle still very much up for grabs. But while points leaders Doug Hoffman and Brett Hearn continue their series-long struggle for the championship, there is a more immediate question pressing us this evening. Joining me is racing analyst for DIRT Motorsports, Gary Montgomery. And Gary, the question is, can anyone defeat Bob McCreadie?
Well, the answer is yes, but the record is certainly in his favor. In the past 13 years, he's made it his Saturday night playground. In the process, he's won 91 features, 9 this year. 6 track championships, and on his way for his 7th. He leads by 2 points coming in here tonight. Can he be beaten? Yes. He's won 9 times this year, but he's lost 8 times. Last year in this race, he came in 3rd. He's beaten by Danny Johnson and Joe Plaza. Can he be beaten? Yes, but I wouldn't bet against him.
Bob McCreadie is looking for his 70th victory here in the 90s. Is there something magical with this driver and track combination?
Well, it's a combination of engine and handling track, and Bob will tell you that you can win with a small block, but in reality, he uses a big block, and I don't think you can. It's a great clay surface, wide back straightaway, spacious corners, and when he backs it into 3 without lifting, it's a thing of beauty. Combination of handling, motor, and talent, he's got all 3.
While racing here at Canadaigua Speedway has been nothing but fun and games for Bob McCreadie, it's anything but for those race drivers, those competitors who are trying so desperately to track him down. Down to the pits we go with Cowboy Paul Small.
2 drivers who are definitely singing the barefoot blues when they come to Canandaigua are Joe Plazik and Brett Hearn. Joe, you came here a few years ago to run with these guys here in Central New York. Have you learned anything from running and winning against barefoot Bob McCreadie?
Well, I've learned a lot running against Bob. Haven't won a lot against Bob, that's for sure, but I've learned a lot. I mean, I've followed him many laps. I've looked at the back of that 9 car for a long time, and I'll tell you what, he's one of the best around, and it's just tough to beat him here at Canandaigua, but we have beat him on various occasions and hope to do it tonight.
When you first came here, you were a guy who would win 1 or 2 races in a year, and now you're up to 12 to 13 races a year, and you may very well win the points championship here this year.
Well, we follow him, we follow Bob by 2 points going into tonight, and we got one more show Saturday night, and it could come down to the wire. Of course, it's going to come down to the wire, but I mean, not in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd beat Bob McCreadie at Canandaigua. I mean, usually he's got 100 points on us by middle of August, and I mean, beating Bob McCreadie here is like beating God.
Now, one guy who is, well, he's also considered a god in dirt modified racing is Brett Hearn. Brett, you and Bob are both professional drivers. How tough is it to run against this guy?
Well, I feel like I got a chance against him anywhere else but here. He knows the track like the back of his hand, and you know, he's absolutely the toughest anywhere you go, but when you come to Canandaigua, he's just a little bit tougher.
Do you come to this racetrack thinking, I'm running for 2nd place, this is Bob McCreadie's house?
I always, as I come to the track, I always try to think of a reason why I should get psyched up, and I was really lost for a reason before I got here, but we ran pretty good in the heat race, so I've got a little more confidence in what I came here with.
You know, Joe Plazik is starting on the pole position here tonight. He got a good draw, but I talked to an old Indian in the pit area earlier this evening, and he tells me that the Indian translation for Canandaigua is barefoot driver, go very fast. Doug?
Well, I think that Paul also was talking to a couple of sandbaggers. There's Joe Plazik and Brett Hearn. They have a lot of machine tonight. let's bring you up to date on the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series points picture.
After 14 races, Doug Hoffman leads, but only a 45-point advantage over Brett Hearn. You see Jimmy Horton is third, no change there. And as they flip to the second graphic, you'll see that third through eighth are separated by 86 points. 958 for Horton in third, 872 for Tremont in eighth. A very, very close chase in this. Again, it's $60,000 in point money. Every position pays a little more, so they're all clawing away.
All right, when we come back, the engines will roar to life at the land of legends. It's the Auto Trader 75, and this is Rush Hour live on Sports Channel. Rush Hour on Dirt is brought to you in part by CarQuest Auto Parts Stores, Budweiser, Racing Electronics, Wildfire, Bob Hilbert Sportswear, Hoosier Racing Tires, Sunoco Race Fuel, and by Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet.
Let's face it, cars and trucks don't last forever. And to win environmentally, you just can't junk this stuff anymore. There is a better way. Plazic Auto Recyclers. Each vehicle is dismantled and thousands of parts are reconditioned for wholesale and retail redistribution. Connected by a worldwide computer web, Plazic has it or they can get it. Recovery, pickup, and delivery almost as fast as the Canadian #1. Racing, recycling, responsible. Plazic Auto Recyclers.
Everything you've ever read or anybody's ever said about Darlington is true and then some. Things happen quick, trouble happens quick. You know, it's a tough racetrack to race on. You look at the wall and see all the tire marks, see all the places people's made mistakes. You have to drive it to understand how tough it is and what they mean when they say too tough to tame.
Busch Beer is proud to bring you the great tracks in NASCAR, now featuring the Darlington Raceway.
You're on the edge all the time here. I mean on the edge.
We are live in the heart of the Finger Lakes region of Central New York, Canadaigua Speedway for the Auto Trader 75. And we have had just one beautiful evening thus far. Absolutely no threat forecast, mostly clear, low of 55, and the race fans have flocked here to the land of legends. How about the track description, Gary?
A half-mile clay oval. The straightaways are 500 feet long. The turns are banked 10 degrees. They run it almost as a circle. Great racetrack.
Now for the track condition, let's go down to Cowboy Paul Small.
You know, if Elmer Fudd were to describe this racetrack tonight, he'd be talking about white-knuckle racing, because that's what we have to deal with this evening. The fans love the track when it's in this kind of condition because there's no dust. The drivers, however, it's a different story for them. This track is tacky, it's rough, there's a big cushion. You couldn't ask for a better dirt track racing surface. All the teams will be running the same identical Hoosier compound soft tires during the course of this race. We don't expect much as far as tire wear goes. Hoosier, by the way, kicking in $250,000 into the Dirt Modified Point Fund for this year. Last year, Barefoot Bob McCreadie, the Mr. Dirt champion, took home about $77,000. And the car that we're looking at here, this Honeywell Auto Parts Bill Trout 14J, this is the man who has won the most races here at the Canadaigua Speedway in his career, AJ Slideway's Alan Johnson, 105 career victories. He's going to be a threat again tonight, Doug.
He's also won this Skoll event on 3 occasions. Our race analysis at Canadaigua Speedway, 75 laps. The caution laps count until the final 3. Total purse, $30,000. The winner's share, $6,000 in the Rush Hour on Dirt pace car by Chevrolet. Leads our starting grid as the engines fire and the cars start to pull away. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Row 1 on the pole, the Canadian #1 of Joe Plazic, and outside the #3 of Brett the Jet.
Second row on the inside will be the Parts Plus #19, Timmy Fuller at the keyboard alongside the Freightliner of Newburgh, car #6 day, the Dr. Danny Johnson.
On to row 3, Dave Camara and Brian Turner.
Row 4 on the inside will be car #45, Chuck Hebing. He's out of Williamson, the Crown Electric Toyota car, and Alan Johnson is alongside. You just met him with Paul Small.
Jeff Hetzler has had a great month of August thus far after a tough month of July. The Hurricane Steve Payne outside row 5.
Row 6 on the inside is the Fonda Speedway track champion, Jack Johnson, in the bull bar. Olsen car number 12B. Alongside is Canadaigua regular Gary Tompkins and Daryl Simmons' car number 32.
Starting 13th, a barefooted wonder, Bob McCreadie in the number 9. And outside, John Moravec.
Row 8 on the inside will be Jeff Tromley. He's out of Schenectady, New York, the Altier Audio car 21J, alongside a second-generation driver, A.J. Romano, in the Skip Seymour car 4.
On to row 9, Pat Ward and Billy Decker.
Row 10 on the inside, starting position number 19 will be Gilly Tegg. He's out of Rochester. Alongside is the motorized madman, Darryl Ruggles, in car 48.
On to row 11, Kenny Tremont, Mr. Dirt Track USA, and Ray Bliss Jr.
Row 12 is a pair of Canadaigua regulars. The Sergeant Steve Schultz is in the Bob's alignment. Edgerton Party House 16. Alongside is a Sweeteners Plus car of modified rookie driver Vic Coffey. He's out of Leicester, New York.
All right, on to row 13, John Ventura in the number 711 and the 18 of Bobby Varin.
Actually, Baron was scratched. He'll go to the back, and then Scotty Boudinot was next in line, inside of row number 14. Jimmy Horton was to have started 28th. He's packed up and gone home. He's disgusted about something.
And row 15, Doug Hoffman and Frank Cozy. They were disqualified from the heat race when it was found that the rear ends of their cars were too wide. They made corrections in the pits. They're placed at the back of the pack by virtue of their guaranteed spots. Now we have a late arrival on the track. We understand that Jimmy Horton's car is packed up and on its way home. However, there was word that he came onto the track in the backup car of Bob McCreadie. We'll track that down for you as we get set to go racing here at Canandaigua.
And in the back of the pack, someplace back there, is Frank Cozy out of Wind Gap, Pennsylvania. Tonight he's aboard the Rick and Corky Thumb CarQuest Auto Parts number 12. He'll be carrying the CarQuest Auto Parts camera from that way back, starting in position number 30. Some great shots expected from that car.
There's the 711 and the 12, and now back up to our high-powered, you could call it a fabulous front row of Joe Plazek and Brett Hearn. Ironically, the two fellows that we talked to in the pits just a few moments ago, saying that they are prepared to waste away again in Bob McCreadieville, are starting right up front.
Yeah, but if Hearn had known he was going to start outside of the front row, it'd have been easier to get psyched up as he came here. There is the McCreadie car being pushed away. Now, it wasn't on the track, but there's the backup car, and there's a real story that has developed with the Jimmy Horton team during the week. His crew chief, longtime crew chief Charlie DeAngelis, has left that team. He's now working for Danny Johnson as the team manager of the Freightliner of Newburgh car. So that's a big change, and that may have had something to do with Jimmy's decision not to go. I don't know what it was, but nevertheless, here comes the old. Now, the way we'll tell these cars apart, the one that's primarily blue with a little bit of orange will be Jimmy Horton. The one that's orange with a little bit of blue will be Bob McCreadie. So we're in for a treat here tonight.
Our heat winners this evening, Jeff Hetzler, Joe Plazek, Jack Johnson, and Frank Cozy. Consolation winner was Gil Tay. And look to our left as these cars come around turn 4. Here comes the backup number 9. Jimmy Horton behind the wheel of Bob McCreadie's backup car.
Yeah, and this backup car is the one that's won most of the races. In fact, he's won 9 times. 8 of those wins have come in this car, so it's no slouch whatsoever. And Jimmy Horton, of course, we know what a great driver he is. This will be fun, Doug. Coming from the back, we got some hot dogs up front, we got hot dogs in the back, we got a great racing surface, and we got a great, big, beautiful full moon. That sometimes isn't good news.
We understand that Jimmy Horton, who is 3rd in the Skoll point standings, is going to take 1 lap in this car, then park it so he can get the points. We'll keep an eye on Jimmy Horton and the backup number 9. Meanwhile, Joe Plazek and Brett Hearn out of turn 4. Starter Tommy Burton has the green flag out, and we're underway at Canadaigua Speedway. And diving low into turn 1 is Joe Plazek. Brett Hearn is in 2nd.
They shuffle through 1 and 2. Canada Joe and his Maple Leaf Special, the Plastic Auto Recyclers, Stakeout Restaurant, Troyer car leads. Here comes Hearn on the bottom of the racetrack. The Budweiser Olsen Theo car charges to the inside. He'll lead lap number 1. You can see them shuffling down to turn 4, and now they're off into turn 1. Hearn is our race leader. Here's Danny Johnson making a move on the inside of Joe Plazek. Danny dives to the bottom as they go down the back straightaway, but the caution flag flies as the 711 of Johnny Ventura and Frank Cozy in the
12T. A couple of cars in the back of the pack have spun here in turn number 4, and they're losing a lap to, well, at least the Cozy is losing a lap to the leaders as Ventura was able to get away. But what a battle already, Doug. Swapping the lead a couple of times, but officially leading lap number 1 and number 2 now is the Budweiser TO Pro car. I had that wrong before, but this is a TO Pro car built by Brett's brother Bobby Hearn down their shop in New Jersey, and it's a Tony File motor under the hood.
Here's a look at the CarQuest Auto Parts in-car camera of Frank Cozy, and we look toward the pits, and we see one car being pushed off. That's Vic Coffey in the 32C.
Well, that's actually the other 32, Doug. No way for you to tell from here, but that is Gary Tompkins in the Daryl Simmons car. They had an engine problem earlier during the heats. They did qualify, obviously, and apparently that engine problem has come back to haunt them here and pushing that car. And now, as we look on the back straightaway, there is the backup McCreadie car, Jimmy Horton, doing just as was advertised, making a lap for a couple of points. I'm not sure of that strategy. He could have won the race with it. So anyway, that's the deal.
Not if Bob doesn't want him to drive it.
Well, that's true. But Bob's the car owner, and he likes the money that comes with that. And he'd like to have him first and second, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, we will have side-by-side restarts until we reach the midway point of this 75-lap race. The Auto Trader 75 from Canandaigua, and it's Brett Hearn firing into turn 3. Around turn 4 down the front straightaway. Brett Hearn has the lead. Joe Plosick is second. Danny Johnson currently runs third.
9 grand Dan, the winner here last year. He led every lap, started on the pole, led the entire. Last year was 95 laps. He led them all. There we see Timmy Fuller taking over the number 4 spot as he chucks down on the bottom of the racetrack. Beautiful clay building up that berm up on top. We're going to have inside and outside lane. There's McCreadie way up on top, picking up several spots as he negotiated through 3 and 4.
He's into position number 9. Remember, he started 13th, and he is knocking on the door to get number 8.
David Camara may be the next one to fall, as McCreadie's charge is going to be a good one. Here we talked about him backing it into turn number 3. That's a little bit of an example of what you get. He doesn't back off at all, lets the track scrub off the speed. He's trying to run down Brian Turner. We got a caution on the speedway again. Yellow flag flies.
And we'll try to pick it up for you. I can't locate the reason as of this moment, but there's Brett Hearn, Plosick, and it looks like debris.
Well,
debris on the course.
There's the answer, and from the color of that, it could have been something off of Jack Johnson's car. But as he drives by, I don't see anything missing there. So regardless, it's just a piece of sheet metal. It's off. And Johnny Ventura has pulled out a line with a 711. That car was smoking a couple laps ago. He come to the top of the racetrack. Family operation out of Geneva, New York. His dad is his crew chief. Mom and dad own the car. They've got an engine problem, and he pulls to the top side, and he'll head for the pits here and hope to not lose too many laps. Again, caution laps still count, and he cannot pass the pace car. The pace car will clear, and Ventura will go to the pits.
And the green flag comes back out. And Brett Hearn fires into turn 4. He's got the lead. And working for the number 3 spot, Danny Johnson. And right behind him is the number 19.
Well, they've just switched that, Doug, and it's his brother now, his older brother. Alan Johnson has taken over the number 4 spot. He's moved by Fuller, so it'll be Alan running 4th with Danny in 3rd as they complete lap number 9. They're all trying to run down the Budweiser 3 of Brett the Jet, Brett Hearn. There's a side-by-side battle as McCreadie advances a couple of more spots. He's moved by both Turner and Camara. We see Jack Johnson tricycling his car, and again, the yellow flag flies. Caution on the speedway. Oh, I see.
Once again, debris.
Yeah, it's bouncing over here. Some more sheet metal. Paul Small
talked 3.
Paul Small talked about this track could be a nightmare or something to that effect, and maybe that's what's happening. We've got a great big, very, very heavy cushion that's built up on the top of the racetrack, and as the cars get up and over that, they can tear off some of the low-riding sheet metal, and I think that's what we've seen happen here, or maybe there was a little bit of contact, but no serious problem for anybody. The safety truck has removed the debris, and we're about to complete lap 11.
Rush Hour will continue with more coverage of our Auto Trader 75 from Canadaigua Speedway. We are live on Sports Channel.
Rush Hour on Dirt. Rush Hour on Dirt.
We are live at the Land of Legends, Canadaigua Speedway. Rush Hour on Dirt is brought to you by Auto Traders. Looking for the best place to buy or sell a car? Look to Auto Trailer. Every Auto Trader magazine is localized for your area and is full of pictures so you can see what you're shopping for. Pick up a copy of Auto Trader at your local convenience store. Doug Logan along with Gary Montgomery, and the green flag flies once again. Lap 13 at Canandaigua, and we've got a battle for the lead.
Side-by-side duel. Hearn on the inside. He's just gone to the outside. Joe Plosick challenging him, but Joe's got to hold on and protect his turf because the doctor is there. Danny Johnson looks to the inside as they race down the back straightaway. Will he charge to the inside in turn 3? No. But there's the leader, Hearn, out front. He owns about a 3-car length advantage. Plosick goes high. Danny's down on the bottom, digging, clawing. And again, Danny, the defending champion of this race. Plosick looking for points at this racetrack. He's a two-point deficit to McCreadie entering the race. Side by side at over 100 miles an hour. The wheel down the back straightaway. Danny backs it into turn number 3. He's taken over 2.
Brett Hearn has the lead as that battle continues for 3rd and 4th position. Alan Johnson goes way high, loses the groove. There's Doug Hoffman, who's doing some charging through the pack.
He has picked up about 10 spots already in the Phil's Chevrolet Taylor Motorsports car. He is really on fire. He's trying to run down Jeff Tromley now. And there you see the heavy traffic and the wide racing surface. Tromley on the outside, Hoffman on the inside. They go charging off into turn 1. Camara and the 6 of Moravec just ahead. Camara holds them at bay as they race down the back straightaway.
Now Hoffman in the number 1 is currently running 14th. He's up to 14th spot.
From the back of the pack after they found the rear end was about a ½ an inch too wide. Didn't make any difference, but it didn't meet the rules.
Now he's up to 13th with that pass, and he's trying that outside groove.
Oh, there's heavy traffic in front of him now. There he goes to the inside of the water wagon. Johnny Moravec, the gas man, stays up on top. Camara's down on the bottom. The Pulteney, Vermont driver hugging the bottom of the racetrack, trying to pick up the spot, and he doesn't know it, but there's somebody, he has an idea. There's somebody back there. He has no idea that it's Doug Hoffman. Hoffman in the Taylor Motorsports car flies by. There's Billy Taylor giving him instructions as they race down the back straightaway.
Now remember, Doug Hoffman in the number 1 is the current points leader in the Skoal Series.
But only by 45 over the race leader Hearn. So he's got to make every position count, got to finish this race. There's a great shot from Cozy's car. Wayne Contractors have come on board as an associate sponsor of the Thumb car, and we have caution on the speedway. Frank Cozy again riding, trying to pick up some ground from the back of the pack. The trouble apparently is the DARRYL Ruggles, the old Milwaukee car. Another of the Canadaigua regulars may have had a problem here. He's pulled out a line, and that's the reason for the yellow, but he's going to stay on the racetrack. So young driver, 2nd year in the modified division. He won a whole bunch of races here in a street stock, and then came to the sportsman division where he won some more races. And he's struggling just a bit in this modified division, but it's very, very tough and very expensive.
22 laps in to our 75-lap Skoal Racing Super Dirt Series event. It's our 4th caution. This is an 18-race event, and the points battle still very, very much up for grabs. But there's a man who's a key player, the number 3, that Budweiser car, Brett Hearn.
A key player, and he has won only 1 race at this racetrack, a 200-lapper here a number of years ago. That's all he's got in his career. Alongside is Danny Johnson, who's won a bunch of times. This used to be his regular Saturday night racetrack. As the pace car clears and the green flag flies, and Hearn goes back to work in a big hurry, opens up about a 3-car length advantage over Danny. And there's Alan Johnson running the outside, trying to move by Plosick to take over the number 3 spot.
Racing at Canadaigua Speedway. Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. There's that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the Hurricane goes high, trying to pick up some ground on Joe Plosick.
This is what we call the pain lane here in Canadaigua, way up on top where nobody dares to go, but that's the lane that has made Payne famous at this racetrack. And you see him tricycling a little bit there. He goes up over the berm on the back straightaway. He is flying, but he's not flying fast enough, Doug, because the barefoot wonder, the master of going faster, Bob McCreadie, has come from deep in the pack to take over position number 5 now as we complete lap number 25.
Yes, Bob McCreadie up to 5th, running that outside groove down the back straightaway. There's Bob McCreadie in the number 9 machine.
He's now actually in 4, challenging Alan Johnson for 3. Now you know why we call him the master of going faster. He has this place figured out like his living room. Unbelievable. He's up on let's see, where is he? He's up on top, and he's trying to run down the Johnson brothers. And this is going to be very, very interesting because they're going to fill up the top and the bottom, and he's going to have to go, I don't know where he's going to go. That time he went way up over the berm. Down the line to go, completing lap 27.
McCreadie on the back bumper of Alan Johnson. 2 winningest drivers here at Canandaigua in that order, and Alan goes high. McCreadie has got him. As we go back in car with the CarQuest Auto Parts Stores in-car camera and Frank Cozy, but there is that battle that Bob McCreadie has just won over Alan Johnson, at least for the moment, for 3rd spot.
You see them charging around the Jeff HEOTZLER car. Jeff has a flat tire. He's going to try to stay out and bring out a caution, wait for a caution, whatever. And now the caution does fly. So that's a tough break for Jeff HEOTZLER, another one of our top 12 in point standings. The Smitty's Reclamation 33 tears off a tire. And what's happened here, Doug, and we talked about this on earlier shows, with this very, very heavy berm, they'll go up against it, it'll tear a tire right off the rim, and I suspect that's what happened to Jeff HEOTZLER.
Now, the last 3 laps, we've seen both McCreadie and Alan Johnson go over the berm, but they were able to hang on.
Yeah, hang on for dear life. And when you do that, there's so many variables there. It's very, very heavy. They're trying not to tear a tire off, trying not to lose control. A few weeks ago, and we featured this on one of our programs earlier, Bob McCreadie got up over the berm, got on the gas. When he did it, lifted the front of the car up, and he turned it right straight into the wall.
We are in the pits with Jeff HEOTZLER, and let's go down to Paul Small.
A very hectic pit stop for Jeff HEOTZLER in the Reclamation 33 car. He made contact with another car on the outside of the 3rd turn, and it destroyed this Hoosier Racing tire. I tell you, it's just ripped inside and outside sidewall. You see the jack coming down. HEOTZLER is down and away. Getting back into the Auto Trader 75, a little more battle damage than when he originally began. Doug?
And we can see him now peeling out of the pits, and he is going to get out in front of the pace car, and he will remain on the lead lap. Jeff HEOTZLER in the number 33.
Very, very lucky, and just made him nick of time.
He will rejoin the fray.
Actually, Doug, those leaders did pass him. We saw that just before the caution came out. So he lost a lap on the track. He didn't lose any in the pits, but he slowed down and waited for the caution, and in the process, the leaders did lap him. So he's a lap down in the back of the pack, and that's not where he wants to be right now. The race leader is Brett Hearn. Danny Johnson runs in the number 2 spot. Back in 3 is McCreadie. Running 4 is Alan Johnson. And 5 is Steve Payne. Our pole position starter, early race leader Joe Plazik has fallen back to run in 6th. Running 7 is that'll be Hoffman running 7. And then it's Fuller running in the number 8 spot. It's a green flag flies.
And we are back under green, and we're in car with Frank Cozy, and we have a chance to see him as he bounces around just a bit, strong-arming that car around the track.
He's running up on the back of the Altier Audio car of whatever that Altier Audio car is. Jeff Trombley, get it out here after a while. Jeff Trombley just ahead of the Cozy car. Here's Alan Johnson racing against Danny Johnson side by side of the brothers. Their mom and dad are here cheering them on tonight. Alan on the bottom, Danny on top. Alan's car is a Bicknell with a Pat Morrison built big block Chevrolet under the hood. The 6 Freightliner car comes from the Troyer Race Cars and Parts Shop in Rochester, New York, and their motor from Precision down in Middletown. But right now, it's the 14J of Alan Johnson prevailing.
And note, that's a battle for 2nd position because Alan Johnson got Bob McCreadie on the restart. There's Brett Hearn still leading, and we have some bumping in turn 4 between Danny Johnson and Bob McCreadie.
McCreadie went up on top, and I don't think Danny realized anybody was there. They made contact, and they get away with it, and they're rambling down the back straightaway.
So as we watch Danny Johnson and Bob McCreadie, Brett Hearn safely in 1st, safely in 2nd is Alan Johnson. The battle, a big battle on the racetrack now for that 3rd position between the Doctor and Bob McCreadie.
And he runs the bottom, and McCreadie is up on top. Now he changes lanes, comes to the bottom, and you saw them passing by some lap car in the back straightaway. Oh my goodness, they got away with it. Dangerous spot. There's the Hurricane continuing to run up on top, and now here comes the pressure from Doug Hoffman. Hoffman from the back of the pack doing a tremendous job here tonight in the Taylor Motorsports. Phil's Chevrolet Troyer car. That's a Ron Hunter motor in that one. That's the same situation, same combination as McCreadie has, a Troyer chassis and a Hunter motor.
And he's currently running in the 7th position, the number 1 of Doug Hoffman, trying to track down the 7X of Steve Payne.
Well, he certainly has won at this point the Burt Charger of the Race Award. Burt Transmissions give us the Charger of the Race, and we have caution on the speedway as Jeff Trombley, the name I couldn't get out earlier. Jeff Trombley has slowed on the back straightaway. It looks like suspension damage to the Altier audio car for Jeff Trombley as he now fires it up and moves slowly back to the pit area. But something isn't tracking right there, and I suspect that it's more than just a flat tire.
So the caution flag flies here at Canandaigua. Rush Hour will continue with more coverage of the Auto Trader 75 from Canadaigua Speedway. We are live on Sports Channel.
Rush Hour on DIRT.
Don't just go to the race. Listen in. Experience it live with a complete scanner package from Racing Electronics. Hear race strategy.
Okay, those are stickers on there, Jeff.
Crucial pit stops.
All right, we can win this thing, guys.
All the key moments. Just ask DW.
If you ever go to one of these races, you ought to get you a scanner and just listen to the conversation. It is constant.
Get your scanner where the pros get theirs. For your free catalog, call Racing Electronics, 1-800-272-7111.
It's a Labor Day Motorsports doubleheader at the Great New York State Fair. It begins at 1 p.m. with the Budweiser New York State Fair Modified Championship.
The top dirt modified starts in the country. Gun for a guaranteed starting spot in the Phase 300.
Then at 7:30, get ready for the ultimate symphony of smash. Witness the destruction in the New York State Fair Demolition Derby Championship. Advance sale tickets include free fair admission. Don't miss the action.
We are back live at Canadaigua Speedway for the Auto Trader 75 from the land of legends. And talk about a legend, how about the number 9 of Bob McCreadie? His success here in the 90s, absolutely unparalleled. Earlier, Paul Small visited with the master of going faster.
Well, familiarity. You know, we've been here since we came on the dirt circuit. It was, well, you know, the track we liked, and we decided to run here weekly. So, I mean, we've been here a long time now and pretty familiar with the place and what changes happen during the night-long races and whatever.
Is there a feeling when the Skoal Series comes here to Canandaigua, okay, I've gone and run with these boys at their racetracks, now they've got to come and play in my sandbox?
Not really. You've got about 10 professional racers that can win any place they go. And when they come in here, it's a different format. Really, when the outside guys come into a local bull ring, it's kind of the favor of the outside guys. It's a longer race. The guys that run locally don't know what's going to happen after 35 laps, where, you know, the invaders do. So that local racer edge thing, you don't really have it like people might imagine.
And Bob McCreadie is up to second place with that pass of Alan Johnson. Now he's going after the number 3 of the Budweiser, Brett Hearn, way high in 3 and 4. Hearn will fend him off this time.
A little too high, scrubbed off some speed as he got up over that very, very heavy clay. Here's Alan Johnson working the extreme bottom. 3 wide in turn number 2. Look at that. Oh, they go 2 wide down the back straightaway. Alan will take the bottom lane. Hearn is trapped up on top now. McCreadie goes up over the berm. And he goes over. Too far over. Bob McCreadie does a tumble off of turn number 4. Unbelievable.
What a battle for the lead. We look inside. Bob McCreadie, remember, is suffering from that bad back. The rescue crew immediately on hand to attend to Bob, whose car rests now just outside turn 4.
Doug, you talked about his back, and that's right. And that was the kind of a crash where sometimes they'll flip it in the air, and that doesn't hurt a lot of things until you land. Well, he landed 2 or 3 times, and each time very, very heavy contact, and that's the kind of shock that he does not need. Incidentally, that's the second time he's been on his head here this year. Very early in the season, he had a wall banger in turn 2 and flipped the car. Tonight, just got too far up over that very, very rough cushion that we talked about, caught that rut, and sent the car a cartwheeling. Vicious crash, and the master of going faster out of it. Right now, we're not so concerned about the car as we are the driver.
Well, we see him moving and unbuckling the helmet. There is a look inside the number 9 of Bob McCreadie. Just involved in a sensational scrap in turns 3 and 4. A battle for the lead, and then flipping over.
We know that he's okay, Doug, though. Very, very composed, because one of the very first things he did was put on his hat, because that's so important to him. The glasses on and the hat, and he's still seated. There he comes out of the car. So that's good news, and he's able to walk away. He's really taken a lot of tough tumbles this year. The crowd is cheering him wildly as he walks back to the attention of his crew.
Here's the replay. Alan Johnson, Brett Hearn, and Bob McCreadie down the backstretch into turn 3. Over 1,000 feature wins represented by these 3 drivers. McCreadie goes high, and look at this. Oh my!
Talked about those heavy when he bounced in the ground. Very, very a lot of contact there.
One more look.
Billy Colton and Maynard Troyer take a bow. That car bounced so heavily, and the roll cage and all the important parts just did their job, and we're happy that Bob has walked away.
Isn't that the truth? Bob totally protected in that roll cage.
Belts, seats, all the things that hold these guys in. This is the brand new car. Well, not brand new any longer, but it's maybe it's less than a month old, and it's been in the wall here at Canadaigua on its maiden voyage, and now flipped here. Very, very tough early going.
Meanwhile, after 48 laps, Brett Hearn, Alan Johnson, Doug Hoffman is up to 3rd. Danny Johnson 4th, and Joe Plozek. Rush Hour will continue. We are live on Sports Channel.
Rush Hour on DIRT.
Brand new this season, DIRT Sportswear Direct. Surprise the racing fans in your life with the latest in DIRT Motorsports apparel and collectibles. Sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and your favorite driver tees. Kids will enjoy the DIRT Modified Matchbox series. Every race fan will want to add to their video collection from the DIRT Video Library, including 1995 Super Dirt Week action. All this and much more in the official DIRT Sportswear catalog. Call today for your free copy, 1-800-979-DIRT.
It's a Labor Day Motorsports doubleheader at the Great New York State Fair. It begins at 1 p.m. with the Budweiser New York State Fair Modified Championship.
The top dirt modified stars in the country gun for a guaranteed starting spot in the Phase 300.
Then at 7:30, get ready for the ultimate symphony of smash. Witness the destruction in the New York State Fair Demolition Derby Championship. Advance sale tickets include free fair admission. Don't miss the action.
We are back racing at Canadaigua Speedway as we are in car with Frank Cozy. The green flag flies, lap 52 of our 75-lap championship here at the Land of Legends, and there's a legend up front in a battle for position number 2. Hearn leads, Hoffman outside of the number 14 of Alan Johnson, going for 2nd place.
Great charge. Remember, Hoffman starting in the back of the pack after that rules infraction was identified after his heat race. So he has charged from the back, runs in position number 3, but the leaders are under a blanket. Alan Johnson, AJ Slideways, down on the bottom, and he'll take the lead as they exit turn number 4. Johnson leads, Hearn is 2, back in 3 is Hoffman as they cross the line to complete lap number 54.
Now Hoffman tries to get outside of Brett Hearn for the 2nd position, and he may have him. He does have him down the backstretch.
Ron Hutter, stand up and take a bow. Brand new Hutter power plant for the Taylor Motorsports team, and it is working beautifully for Doug Hoffman. Hunter out of Chardon, Ohio, builds some of the most powerful engines in all of motorsports. And right now, one of those engines is under the hood of car number 1.
Leading this race, the number 14 and the winningest driver in Dirt Motorsports history, and the winningest driver here, Alan Johnson. In the second position, the number 1 of the current Skoal points leader, Doug Hoffman. And then the number 3, the Budweiser car, Brett Hearn, who's second in the Skoal points.
So the cream has risen to the top, and Alan Johnson right now at the head of the class as they truck down the back straightaway. But the most impressive ride so far is that of Doug Hoffman from the back to the front here in 56 laps as they complete 57 as they cross the line.
Doug Hoffman won this race in 1987, trying to get another feather in his cap. But just as the question was earlier, can anyone beat Bob McCreadie? Now Bob McCreadie in the pits. We have the report that he is okay. But the question now is, can anybody catch A.J. Slideways in the 14?
Well, right now, it would appear to me that the only driver that's got a legitimate chance of it, of course, the track will change here in the remaining laps, but it's Hoffman. And now we see them making a move on the inside. Hoffman's going to have to go to the bottom because Allen is running the top. That's where he prefers to run. So there we go, down the line. Danny running back in the number 4 spot, not able to do anything with it. Plastic is in 5.
The scanner that we are picking up is that of Doug Hoffman's.
And what Billy Taylor was telling him is they're about to encounter lap cars, but they were to encounter lap cars. But I think we're going to have a caution as Brian Turner is slowed on the racetrack. And if that brings out a caution, which it has, that'll clear up the racetrack for the leaders. Good break, I think, there for the leaders.
I've been talking.
We have 15 laps remaining in this Auto Trader 75 from Canandaigua. And the caution flag is out. It's our 8th yellow of the evening. And a number of them were for debris, but one was for a dramatic flip by Bob McCreadie as he battled for the lead. There's Brett Hearn in the number 3.
Brian Turner has taken the Jack Turner, car number 11, to the pits where his brother John and Frank Reese will go to work and try to replace the tire without the wheel and tire without losing a lap. But they're in danger of losing a lap as the pace car has signaled that it will clear this time. There you see the shot of Hoffman, who tucks in tight behind the race leader Alan Johnson, and they fire, and Alan leads as they charge off into turn number 4.
And we have Brett Hearn pulling up lame. Brett Hearn lame in turn 4.
Lame as in broken. I'm not sure what happened there, but all tires are inflated. Maybe the rear end, I don't know. That extreme bite, and the caution flag flies. And there's yeah, that's a torsion arm that's dropped down. It's digging up the track. Hearn was able to diagnose the problem from the cockpit.
Might have broken the left rear radius rod, probably spun the arm out.
That sounded like Brett.
It did. He's figured this out, Doug. He's figured out what's broken. It's a torsion bar that's dropped down, that's digging in the track. Tough break.
So Brett Hearn, yes, a tough break indeed, will head to the pits.
Bring it in here.
Points.
Nice and close,
so important. We talked about it at the head of the show. 45 points separated Hoffman from Hearn. Hearn having a great run here, although he lost the spot on the racetrack, but now he'll lose a lot of valuable ground. This is not, they cannot make this repair without losing at least a lap. So the point deficit for Hearn will increase, and the advantage for Hoffman will increase, and he's had a stellar show here so far tonight.
Brett Hearn is in the pits, and so is Paul Small. Paul, take it away.
Not exactly sure what the problem is on the Budweiser number 3 of Brett Hearn. As you can see, they are looking underneath the back end. Brett has shut the car down. Looks like they're going to try to roll a jack underneath it. They've got an air wrench out as well. Looks like it's going to be some kind of a rear end problem. They're looking in underneath the left rear tire, and it's apparently a torsion bar problem. See if we could sneak in and get a quick word from Brett.
Brett, the car was running real good. Did you feel something let go in the back end?
Right up before that restart, the back of the car broke loose, and I felt it rub against the fender. I knew we were in trouble. We apparently broke a radius rod bolt, looks like.
So Brett Hearn and the Budweiser 3 out of the running with less than 15 to go. We're going back to green.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. Yes, Alan Johnson takes the green flag from starter Tommy Burton. He leads this race. Doug Hoffman in a battle now for second place, but Doug Hoffman could be the big winner out of all this. race. If Doug stays up front, he could come away with nearly a 100-point lead in the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series. But meanwhile, it's a battle for this checkered flag here this evening, and it's currently being dominated by Alan Johnson up front.
Another Johnson. Jack Johnson has just moved into the top 5, so we've got Alan leading. His brother Danny is in 3rd, and Jack Johnson, no relation, rides in position number 5 as we complete lap number 67.
There is Jack Johnson and Tim Fuller.
And Decker is closing in behind him. We have a wire that's come off the A.J. Romano car.
We're trying to locate the tire. Yellow flag is going to come out one more time. We are on lap 68 here at Canandaigua, and we are going to have a sprint to the finish as Romano is stopped now in turn 1.
The lap's winding down, and A.J. Romano and Skip Seymour's Troyer number 4 has lost a wheel. We're tire and wheel. We talked about worried about the tire. We're not worried about the tire. We're worried about the fact there's a wheel with it. It's heavy. I don't know where it went, but apparently it didn't hit anybody or anything, as there's no commotion around here. So A.J. Romano, the 2nd generation driver out of Johnstown, sits idle on the track with a tricycle, and it just won't work, Doug.
And we are getting down to precious few laps. We have 6 remaining. The caution laps do count until the final 3.
The lap counter will be frozen at 72, and they'll then click them off. But we're working lap number 70 under yellow. The race leader is Alan Johnson. Doug Hoffman rides in the number 2 spot. Danny Johnson is in 3. Back in 4 now, I believe it will be the 1.
Yes.
Maple Leaf number 1 of Joe Plazek. 5 is Jack Johnson. 6 could be Billy Decker. They're contesting that on the racetrack right now. Decker and Fuller and Jack Johnson all running under a blanket for 5, 6, and 7. Back in 8 is Dave Camara. 9 now is Johnny Moravec, and rounding out the top 10 is Frank Cozy. I'm sorry, Kenny Tremont is in there. He would be running in the number 8 spot, Moravec 9, and Cozy 10. I think that's the way it works.
This Skull Racing Super Dirt Series event winner takes home that automatic qualifying spot for the Phase 300, all part of Super Dirt Week 25. And remember, tickets are available, but they're going fast. Make sure you call Dirt headquarters Monday through Friday. Have your Visa and MasterCard ready. Here's the lineup for Super Dirt Week. Modified time trials Wednesday, October 9th. The Triple 20 qualifiers Friday, October 11th, beginning at noon. The Turning Stone Casino Late Model 100 and the Champion Spark Plug 358 Modified 125 Saturday. And then Sunday, the world's richest dirt modified event, the Phase Drugs 300. Tickets available. The 25th anniversary special. Check this out. Sections 2 and 3, rows A through E. Just $50 for the entire week. Call Dirt Motorsports and have your Visa and MasterCard ready. We're racing once again as Alan Johnson takes the green flag. 71 laps in the books, and we have a dogfight for the number 3 position. Danny Johnson and Joe Plazek, but there are your leaders. Alan Johnson, then Doug Hoffman.
Alan Johnson has the superior horsepower, or so it would appear on his restarts, as he instantly opens up a 5-car length advantage over Hoffman, who's pulled away from the battle for 3. The battle for 3, however, continues to be a good one. The Danny running in the number 3 spot. Joe Plazek is tight behind him in 4, and Billy Decker has gone to the outside of the racetrack. He's in 5 and challenging. Here comes Canada Joe on the outside now, but here we go back to the lead, and it is Alan Johnson leading Doug Hoffman. The battle is for position number 3. Danny Johnson has the spot, but Joe Plazek wants it. There's Joe working the inside as they work in turn number 1. In turn 2 now, Danny opens up a 2-car length advantage, and here we see them fanning out, and the car going out of shape and losing some ground there was Billy Decker. Here comes Jack Johnson on the inside now. Jack in the red car on the inside goes against Joe Plazek for the number 4 spot.
The white flag is out. Alan Johnson, 3-time winner of this race, 1976, 78, and 84. It's been more than a decade since his last win here in the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series. Out of turn 3 into turn 4, Hoffman gives it one more go, but Alan Johnson has won the Auto Trader 75 from Canadaigua Speedway.
The career total now is 106 for A.J. Slideways, now the hired gun for Bill Trout in the Honeoye Auto Parts car. Great, great run.
And a very big win for Alan Johnson, a big second place finish in the points race for Doug Hoffman.
Not only does he get second, but his primary adversary did not finish the race, Brett Hearn, so it's a big, big jump in the points for Doug Hoffman. Finishing third was Danny Johnson. Joe Plazik held on in a great battle to finish 4, and that's all unofficial, of course, and unofficially 5 would be Jack Johnson, and I had 6, Kenny Tremont. As the top 3 are in victory circle for the Victory Lane celebration.
All right, and Alan Johnson collects his first Skoal Big Block Modified win of the season, and with it, he gets that automatic qualifier for Syracuse.
So important, and he's won that race on a couple of occasions, one time coming from the extreme back of the pack, and you talk about not passing on the Moody Mile at Syracuse. Well, AJ Slideways did it a number of years ago when he got in by a vote of the press, went on to win the race.
Well, a little home sweet home then for Alan Johnson, who wins our Auto Trader 75 here at Canandaigua. And he had to hold off a last turn charge from the #1 of Doug Hoffman. But out of the car, fist the crowd, Alan Johnson. Look at that big smile as he's down there with Jack Spino. And we're going to head down to Victory Lane and talk to our race winner, Alan Johnson. Here's Paul Small.
Alan, congratulations on a great Skoal Racing Super Dirt Series win here. This looked like a war more than a race.
Well, you know, it was a great race for us. We lost one Thursday that I think we had pretty much in hand, and you know, it's just great to get one back.
This has always been your racetrack. You've got more wins here than anybody else, and you showed them why tonight.
Yeah, this is our track. You know, we've been here every Saturday night for 20 years, and you know, it's great to get this one here.
Did you see the McCreadie crash over in 3 and 4?
Well, I seen Bob up on a cushion. You know, I didn't see him go, but I seen he was out of shape up there in a cushion, and you know, then they told me on the radio that he ended up rolling, and you know, I was surprised. I figured he'd just bring it off the cushion, but you know, it's too bad because Bob was really running great.
How about Hoffman knocking at the door there towards the end?
Yeah, you know, he's always tough. That's a dynamite car he's been driving there, and you know, Hearn's got a great car, and you know, this thing is just dynamite, and you know, we beat a tough crowd tonight.
Congratulations, fantastic victory for you, Alan.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Johnson wins at the track that he is known for, the Land of Legends. Doug?
All right, thank you very much, and congratulations to Alan Johnson. Rush Hour will continue with more coverage of the Auto Trader 75 from Canadaigua Speedway. We are live on Sports Channel.
Rush Hour on Dirt.
DIRT Sportswear Direct now features the Rush Hour Live t-shirts for men and women in sizes medium through extra large. Be a part of history. Order yours now. 1-800-979-DIRT. Nobody covers area auto racing like the Area Auto Racing News. From national to local events, Area Auto's got the scoop. Subscribe now. 50 weeks are just $35. A huge $65 savings off the newsstand price. Call today. DIRT Sportswear Direct now features long-sleeve denim shirts for men and women in sizes medium through 2X. Perfect for the upcoming fall season. Order yours now. 1-800-979-DIRT.
Hi, I'm Billy Decker of the Adam Ross Cut Stone Quality Hardwoods Racing Team.
And I'm Trooper John Hollenbeck of the New York State Police.
Out here, I compete against professional drivers, but none of us would dream of driving a family car without buckling our seatbelts.
Take a tip from professional drivers. Highway safety is no accident.
They may be the greatest team of all time. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, 72 wins, a 4th NBA championship. Now you can commemorate the record-breaking 95-96 season with the Chicago Bulls championship plaque. An invaluable collection for any Bulls fan. This beautiful plaque also includes a dominating element from their first championship season, a 1990 trading card of Michael Jordan. Next to the card is a memento from the 1995-96 season, a colorful photo featuring Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and more of the supporting cast. The card and photo are mounted on a wood plaque that will look great on any wall. The nameplates commemorate the Bulls' incredible 72-win season as well as their championship title. Show your friends, family, and co-workers how big a Bulls fan you are, and hurry, supplies are limited. The 1995-96 Chicago Bulls. Are they the greatest team of all time? Then this may be the greatest NBA collectible of all time. Call today.
Rush Hour on Dirt is brought to you by Chevrolet. For over 80 years, we've built our name on a simple idea. Value you can always depend on. genuine Chevrolet. By Racing Electronics Professional Race Team Communications, the official race communications company of DIRT Motorsports. By Bob Hilbert Sportswear, the official supplier of DIRT Motorsports apparel. For custom screen printed and embroidered sportswear, it's Bob Hilbert Sportswear. By the king of beers, Budweiser, the official beer of DIRT Motorsports. This Bud's for you. And by CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. If you want to be the best, you have to use the best. Welcome to the pros. CarQuest Auto Parts Stores.
An unofficial look at our final standings here in the Auto Trader 75. Alan Johnson wins the race, followed by Doug Hoffman, who will now take nearly 100-point lead in the Skoal Racing Super Dirt Series with only 3 races remaining. Danny Johnson, Joe Plaza, Kenny Tremont, and Jack Johnson, the top 6.
Timmy Fuller rounding out, finishing 7. Billy Decker, David Camara, Johnny Moravec, Pat Ward, and one of our exciting local drivers, Chucky Hebing, rounding out the top 12.
All right, well, a big night for Doug Hoffman as well. He's down there with Paul Small. Paul?
Doug Hoffman, last to first, almost first anyway. Unbelievable performance by you in this race car.
It was something, you know. First of all, I got to say hi to everybody back home, and thanks to Phil Chevrolet and Billy Taylor. They've just been doing an outstanding job with this race car. Hopefully a run like this brings us the needed sponsorship that we need to finish out the rest of the year, but I can't say enough about the race car. It's just been fantastic these last month and a half of the season, and we started dead last, got to second. I wish there was some more laps. You know, Alan did an outstanding job, and we came a long way, and I'm real happy with a second. I just wish that we would have had some more laps to do some more racing. I needed to find a better groove there at the end.
It was a fantastic race car, and hey, this driver isn't half bad either, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, big night for Alan Johnson and a big night for Doug Hoffman.
Big night for Joe Plazik. He'll take over the track point lead as well.
Well, thank you for all the statistical help in the booth to Tom Skabinski and Kevin Kovac. If you've enjoyed Rush Hour this season, write DIRT Motorsports and call your local cable company and sports channel. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you the second week in October when DIRT Motorsports stages its season-ending Spectacle of Speed, Super Dirt Week from the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. For Gary Montgomery, Paul Small, and the entire Rush Hour on Dirt crew, this is Doug Logan saying thank you for joining us, and so long for now. The executive producer of Rush Hour on Dirt is Glenn Donnelly. Rush Hour on Dirt is a production of DIRT Motorsports and a presentation of Sportswear.